And yeah, Charleston White might have said some outlandish shit. But this is a free country. And he spoke facts. He spoke facts. Asians don't give a damn about black people. China Mac himself said his grandfather told him at a very early age to stay away from black people or he couldn't come back in his house. And this is something that goes down on the regular. This is the blueprint. And I'm sure there was some anti-black rhetoric to go along with that directive. Oh yeah, there was some propaganda.
It's Dirty Laundry Media on the check-in. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and smash that like button for me, would you? Thank you.
So yeah, check it out, right? And I don't like getting in nobody's business. For real. But I've been checking out this beef between Charleston White, China Mac, and these Asian boys, or whatever they're called, the Asian Crips, the Asian boys, whoever these clowns are out of, I believe they're out of Stockton, California, somewhere in the Bay Area. You know what I'm saying? And this is all stemming from, you know, this whole Democratic campaign in which, to me, they tried to and successfully sold this anti-Asian hate bill on the backs of black people. To me, it seems like the media narrative was painted to make it seem as if black people have a problem with Asians. And I'm trying to figure this out. I'm like, where is the epidemic of Asians being attacked in black communities? The only epidemic I see regarding black people and Asians is black people spending their money in Asian businesses. That's the only epidemic I see, is black people going into Asian businesses in black communities and forking their money over every day. 365 days of the year. I'm not seeing any Asian businesses being looted. I'm not seeing an epidemic of Asian businesses being robbed, set on fire. The only epidemic I see is black dollars going into Asian coffers. And I have a problem. I always had a problem with that. But people are free to spend their money where they choose in a capitalistic society. Black people are not on code to the point where we realize the importance of being stingy with our dollars. So we willy-nilly spend our dollars with whoever sets up shop in our communities. And that's a problem. And for me, it's not about hate. Of course, it's never about hate. But it's about having self-respect as a community, as a group, to say, hey, wait a minute. Everything that you are offering, we can also set up shop and offer these same services or these same products or whatever the case may be. You know, I don't know where along the way did the playbook say, hey, you know, Asians, you guys will get to set up in the black communities. You'll run the beauty supply shops, the nail shops, and the fast food takeout restaurants. The Indians and the Pakistanis, you'll get the gas stations, you'll get the hotels, you'll get the Dairy Queens, 7-Elevens. You know, these ethnic groups each have a niche business-wise in the black community. And that's a problem. And then here we come on the heels of an epidemic that we were told came from China, but we couldn't call it. We couldn't name it that though. No. And now, the kowtowing, the pandering, now we need to pass a bill to show that we have the backs of Asian people. And let's go ahead and characterize, and this has always been something that Joe Biden has done. He's always sold these crime bills on the backs of black people. Remember in 1994? He had to pass that crime bill because black kids were predators out here in these streets. And we needed longer sentencing. We needed less parole, probation. We need no-knock warrants. Yeah, we'll provide local police jurisdictions with military equipment. If these states would implement laws to make prisoners do more time. And now we complain about no-knock warrants and police militarization. Now we want to defund the police. But it was Joe Biden who funded them in the first place. But I digress. Back to the black versus the Asians, or this narrative that was painted in the media. So yeah, a lot of black people are resentful because we've watched over the years, realizing that we're spending our goods, however we get our money, we spend it with them in more ways than one. Like I said, from the beauty supply shops to the nail salons to the fast food takeout, willingly forking over our money and at the same time being mistreated. How many videos have we seen in the past year alone where black women have been attacked in Asian-owned establishments, accused of stealing, accused of not paying their tabs, and violently attacked? I've seen a couple of instances where they were arrested, but we go right back. And there's no crime bill for that. There's nothing on the books. There's no community backlash. There's no political backlash. But now everybody wants to stop anti-Asian hate. And when somebody like Charleston White speaks up on behalf of his community, you got somebody like China Mac, who seems to me as if he just was looking for somebody to punch down on. And I think he picked the wrong person. He got on there, he colluded with Vlad, and Charleston called Vlad out as well. And I'm waiting to see if Vlad is gonna have Charleston White back on there. And yeah, Charleston White might have said some outlandish shit. But this is a free country. And he spoke facts. He spoke facts. Asians don't give a damn about black people. China Mac himself said his grandfather told him at a very early age to stay away from black people or he couldn't come back in his house. And this is something that goes down on the regular. This is the blueprint. And I'm sure there was some anti-black rhetoric to go along with that directive. Oh yeah, there was some propaganda. And China White wants to get, or China Mac wants to get mad and wants to punch Charleston White in the face. This is ridiculous.
But yeah, I think he picked the right one to try to punch down on. Not that I think he would do anything if he actually seen this man. You know, it just wouldn't be smart. China Mac. It is funny that I keep saying China White because, you know, although he's Chinese ethnically, a lot of Asians, once they have a foothold here in America, they check Caucasian on their paperwork, on the census, on anything that requires them to declare their ethnicity. A lot of times they select Caucasian. I've seen the paperwork. Oh yeah. Not only the Asians, but a lot of Hispanics and Latinos. They're Caucasian. They were always Caucasians. But again, I digress. That's for another video. But yeah, there was a time when the Hispanics, they didn't want to be considered a minority. They fought against it until they figured out there was some dollars attached to it. Okay, we'll become a minority group. Hispanics is a created group. Yeah, they were always Caucasian. So yeah, there's no solidarity there. Not in politics. Now when it comes to the distribution of limited resources, the black people want to let everybody come to the barbecue. And that's a problem. And then somebody like Charleston White comes out and calls this shit down the middle, just how it needs to be called, you know, make a lot of niggas uncomfortable. Because a lot of niggas, even though they talk tough, they don't want to piss no white people off. They can't piss no white people off. Especially if they're getting that money from these people. This goes for your favorite celebrities, athletes, entertainers, your favorite rappers. They're lining up to get these checks from these political action committees, particularly from the Democrats for the most part. They're lining up for photo ops. And our communities have already been devastated. You know, we're already 50 to 60 years in the hole, economically speaking. No social capital. So, you know, there's not one person who I would agree with 100% either way. But when they're pushing a message about something that I strongly believe in and I feel like they're on the right path, I'll get behind you. So, you know, when I see a brother like Charleston White speak the truth, and I know he's coming from a place of true love and concern for his community, you know, I can't help but support that man. So yeah, somebody's got to call it out, you know. A lot of people are into giving passes. When he called out Johnny Dang for using the N-word, people said, well, what did he do? You know, that's disrespectful for him to want to throw the N-word around. Why would you want to do that? You know, I used to work with a bunch of Latinos, and they weren't Mexican all, you know, per se. They were from Colombia, Honduras. But of course, when they got over here, they all grouped up. They clicked up. And the environment that we worked in was a call center. So it wasn't like, you know, you had to come to work in a suit and tie every day. You could wear jeans and sneakers, but it was a professional setting. And these young Latino cats like to refer to each other as nigga, and they like to throw that word around frequently at work. In the break room, it got so bad eventually they started doing it on the call floor. And when a brother like me complained about it, and this was after I stepped to them man to man and said, hey, Y'all need to tone that down. I understand y'all might do that when y'all in the street, but not here at the job. And there were even some other Latinos who had a problem with it, some other black people who had a problem with it, but nobody would say anything. There was one brother who was a team lead. He gave him a pass because he hung out with them outside of work. So he gave him a pass because he felt like he was, one of the boys. And I'm like, I wouldn't care if I hung outside of work with them or not. Outside of work is outside of work. Inside of work, we need to put a lid on it. But when I complained, and the owners of the business were Lebanese, and I went to the HR manager, and I said, hey, this is a problem. I tried to submit a suggestion anonymously about what was going on. It was never addressed, and I pretty much figured they knew it was me. And then when they confirmed it was me, they fired me. I was able to collect unemployment because they fired me on some trumped up charges, but they fired me nevertheless, took bread off my table, money out my pocket, because I complained about some Latinos using derogatory racial language in the workplace. And the thanks I got was a pink slip. So I don't have any problems calling out this type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been going on for too long. We don't have no respect. If these people want to use a derogatory term to refer to each other as, let them use a Latino word. Let them use a Spanish word, some Spanish slang. Stop using that word. Stop using that word. Why would you want to use it? You feel me? We're not using y'all slang. Y'all using ours and not trying to identify with our culture, but at the same time, y'all turn around and use that very same word against us. So no, it's no more passes, y'all. And I'm here pumping gas. I was finished pumping my gas and I was like, yo, let me just go ahead and drop this real quick before I pull off, because this shit's gone too far. Rappers want to give people passes. I'm not giving them passes. Don't use that word around me. Respectfully, don't use that word around me. Unless you want me to refer to you as a ethnic racial slur against you. Because I'm sure at that point it's going to become a problem. So in order to avoid that, don't use that word around me. If you Asian, if you Latino, if you Caucasian, if you're not from this, if you're not an American descendant of slavery, you have no rights to that word. No matter, what it might mean or what you think it might mean or what you think it should mean, you have no rights to that. So respectfully, stop using that word. Stop feeling like you got a right to that. You don't. And we're going to stand on that. We got to draw a line somewhere. We got to draw a line in the sand somewhere. Somebody got to say, yo, somebody got to blow the whistle. It's a flag on the play. But we so used to being degraded that we don't see a problem with it. We have a self-esteem problem. We have a self-image problem. And no matter what we do, no matter what kind of car we drive, no matter how big your house is, no matter how expensive your sneakers are, no matter how many trips you take, you feel me? No matter how much gold you have, how much jewelry you have, how expensive your weave is, no matter how upgraded you feel your lifestyle is, if you empty inside, you gotta address that. Everything else is just a band-aid. And I understand, and I'm not calling, making no moral judgment on anybody. Do what you do. But as a people, we have to come together. Because what the hell are we leaving? We passing this shit down to our children. This shit been passed down to us. This is going to be passed down to our children's children. You know, we got to fight back. We have to get more self-interested. You feel me? We have to ruffle a few feathers, and God damn it, we have to ruffle some feathers. Power concedes nothing without demand. Power concedes nothing without demand. I say it one more time, I get my Umar on. Power concedes nothing without demand. And that's what it is, that's what it's always have been, and that's what it will be. And I'm not saying that we need to try to organize some revolution to overthrow some shit, but we need to get our slice of the pie. We got Democratic leaders out here in Tulsa making a mockery, making a complete mockery of the centennial anniversary of the Tulsa, Oklahoma riots, the massacre. Sheila Jackson Lee supposed to be out here getting these reparations, and she's out here dancing in a conga line looking like a real buffoon, looking like a real coon out here. Yeah, Hank Williams, you too. Y'all out here dancing down a conga line when y'all supposed to be in the trenches fighting for these reparations. But these Democratic leaders don't try to co-opt the whole narrative. Try to send Mammy Stacey Abrams in. And what's his name? Girl Harper. The actor. And John wants to be a legend. He need to get his girl together. Chrissy Teigen, they need to be laying low right now. So yeah, this is where we are. After we turned Georgia blue. Air quotes. Because that's dubious. But anyway, you know, we have to have some sort of standard, and we have to uphold that standard. So I'm gonna sign off for now because I don't want 12 to roll up on me and think I'm up here trying to make a play. So yeah, and we'll continue this discussion on the other side, but you know, we gotta fire a shot somewhere. And when we see somebody with the balls to stand up and say the things that we need to say or are afraid to say, we need to get behind them and offer our support. And we need to echo that message. Doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be the same language, or it doesn't have to be with, you know, the same verbosity or intensity. But the overall message needs to be, you know, gotten across. And more people need to carry the message. And we need to do that every day. And that's real talk. So yeah, this Bill Money, your boy signing off for Dirty Laundry Media. So yeah, we need to get in the game.